Whew, man, that was a pretty decent race. I mean, you had some drivers run up at the top of the field that you wouldn't expect. Some good drivers, some, drivers that you don't really see every day have good runs at a mile and a half in the intermediate track. Wow. We have a lot to talk about, guys, so let's go ahead and get this thing on the road. Hey guys, NASCAR Mobile 48 back again, and welcome back to another episode of NRR. And in today's episode, we're going to be reviewing the 2021 Dixie Vodka 400 at Homestead Miami Speedway. First off, we're going to be talking about our top 10 drivers. We're going to be rating the race, and then we're going to be talking about the race as a whole, because really, there are some drivers that were running really good earlier today, but then they didn't have a good finish. And then some notable drivers that you think, oh, they should be running well, but they did not. And then at the end, they just come back and get a pretty decent finish. So that's what we're going to be talking about. So let's go ahead and get this on the road. Finishing in first was William Byron. William Byron getting his second career win at a mile-and-a-half racetrack. His first win on a mile-and-a-half. His first win since Daytona back in 2020 before the playoffs started. And really, when Byron won, I wasn't really that shocked at all when he was coming across the finish line, because I was thinking 2016 he won the Truck Series race at Homestead when Johnny Sauter won the championship. The next year in the Xfinity Series, he obviously won at Homestead to win the championship for Dale Jr. And then a few years later, or a couple years later, he wins at Homestead in Miami. I'm just very impressed by him, because, Hendrick Motorsports had a really good run today. Like him, Bowman did good, got a top 10. Larson was like the best until Byron got by. So Larson was great. Chase Elliott was a bit disappointing. I don't know, he didn't really run that well. He finished in 14th, and that's not that good compared to second place finish last year against Denny Hamlin. Chase Elliott was doing not so good at first. Then towards the middle, around stage 2 or something, he was running pretty decent, but he did not have a long run car. He had more of a short run car, so that definitely affected him. So he really needed a caution in order to have a better finish, to make some moves on the restart. But back to William Byron. William Byron gets his first win with Rudy Fugle, and only their third race together. So that's pretty impressive. So proud of William Byron, the 2014 team, as they give Hendrick Motorsports their 264th win ever, because their last one was when Chase Elliott won at Phoenix for the championship. So really, I'm very impressed by William Byron and Rudy Fugle doing a really amazing job, because really, if you think about it, he's kind of better than Chad Knaus with William Byron, because it took Chad Knaus like 2 seasons, or almost 2 seasons, to give William Byron his first career win, while it just took Rudy Fugle about 3 races. So really impressed by Rudy Fugle, doing a great job with William Byron in the 2014, and I can't wait to see what they can do on more mile-and-a-half, starting with Las Vegas next week. So I can't wait to see what they can do, but a really good finish by William Byron in the 2014. Finishing in second was Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick, I don't know what happened. Early in the race, he was starting to make some ground, and then towards the ending of stage 2 and the beginning of stage 3, or yeah, I think it was in stage 2, he started to fall back. He started falling back. I heard Mike Joy at one point say he was 22nd. I was thinking, what? I mean, I know you just lost that race last night, and you got disqualified at the same time. I know that hurts, but I don't think it should hurt that bad, because that's an Xfinity race. Also, before we continue on, I just want to say, man, I feel so bad for Noah Gragson. He only needed 3 more laps to win at Homestead, and then bam. Oh, that's very unfortunate. I felt really bad for William Byron. I mean, not William Byron, but Noah Gragson. But congrats to Mike Snyder for winning on yesterday night. But Noah Gragson, he just needs to keep his chin up, because Atlanta is sort of similar, Homestead, kind of worn out, kind of slick and stuff. So, and Noah Gragson finished second at Atlanta last year in the Xfinity Series when he lost to AJ Allmendinger. So if they can just take that momentum that they had at Homestead before it was killed into Atlanta in a couple weeks, then I bet they could win that race. But yeah, back to Tyler Reddick. Reddick had a really decent race towards the end, around I have to say 20 laps to go, he started coming up, charging through the field, and he gained 8 seconds and 18 laps. I mean, he was just on fire. But then it was too little too late. He really needed a caution at the end there. Even though he had mostly a long run car, I think a caution might have helped him if he would have just had a great restart and stuff. And also, I like in his interview that he felt bad for his fans that he was in the Cheddar's car and that the fans they couldn't get like free chicken tenders on Monday. I mean, I haven't eaten the Cheddar's in like years actually, and I'm not really a big fan of it. But then I started to get back in it and stuff. But I haven't eaten the Cheddar's in a while, so I feel bad for the fans who eat at Cheddar's or something. But yeah, I like how he's just talking about, oh, I feel bad for the fans who can't have like free chicken tenders at Cheddar's instead of, oh man, we finished second. But he did talk about that. But strong effort by Tyler Reddick. Like I said with Noah Gragson, this track is sort of similar to Atlanta, so he could probably get lucky there. And Phoenix, he's pretty decent at Phoenix. He ran good there early last year, before the pandemic, so we could see something from them at that track. But yeah, overall, a solid effort by Reddick in the 18. Finishing in third was Martrix Jr. Martrix Jr. was like the best Toyota of the field. I don't know what's been going on, but it's like in 2020, he just had a great car. It's just that he couldn't execute with the win. Like, if I'm talking about this, I'm talking about like Martinsville, the second Martinsville race, they had to go to the pits. Darlington, we made that stupid move on Chase Elliott with only a few laps to go, and then maybe some other races, but Martrix Jr. just has not had the luck. Really, to be honest, he could not catch William Byron, and then he was just basically battling with Kyle Larson until Tyler Reddick showed up. But Martrix Jr. had a decent race. He did do better than the other Toyotas. Hamlin, he finished 11th. Hamlin, really, he didn't do so good. And it's also weird how Hamlin said that, no air conditioning in the car, like it was getting hot in there, all because he didn't have the thing plugged into the back of his helmet, and oh my goodness, that must have been awkward. And I bet his crew chief or the crew were kind of thinking, are you kidding me? That was it the entire time? And I like how Clint Boyer said, if I were Hamlin, I wouldn't have said a thing. I just would have said, oh look, it magically came back. Yeah, we're running pretty well. And then Denny Hamlin, like I said, Kyle Busch struggled. Christopher Bell really struggled. And Bubba Wallace, I don't know. That team needs to develop because they finished like 20th or something. Top 20, I think. But they had an okay race, but still Martrix Jr. coming up short once again. This is a mile-and-a-half master, and he hasn't won a mile-and-a-half since Las Vegas of 2019. So we're going back to Las Vegas so they could possibly get a win, but really, you have to have your eyes on Joey Logano, because he knows Las Vegas. Even though last year Las Vegas in the playoffs, he didn't win, Hamlin could have won that race. Kurt Busch won the race, so we'll see, but overall, pretty decent night for Martrix Jr. Finishing in fourth was Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson, definitely another Hendrick Motorsports driver that was probably the best. Like, he kept making his way through the field, and he looked like one of the best cars out there. But then at the end, he just could not catch his teammate William Byron. It seemed like that William Byron had the best Hendrick car towards the end of the race. At first, it was Kyle Larson. Sorry for that noise, but at the end, it was just William Byron all day, and so Larson was just battling with Truex, like I said when I was talking about Martrix Jr. But Larson definitely had a decent race, at his best mile-and-a-half racetrack. There's still a lot more racing to go. The Bristol Dirt Race, he could definitely get a win there, but I don't know how he's going to drive in that stock car, so watch out for him. Also watch out for Christopher Bell, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Just watch out for these drivers, that are dirt racers. Also, good job for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He ran pretty decent, but I'll talk about him, after we rate the race. But yeah, a strong effort by Kyle Larson, just not enough to catch their own teammate. Finishing in fifth was Kevin Harvick. Kevin Harvick did not have the best day. Because really, to be honest, Kevin Harvick, the last two races at Homestead, including this one, he hasn't run so good. I mean, the 2020 race, he got like he finished like in the 20th or something. I don't know what happened to them. It's like they were running pretty decent during the race, but then at the end they just fell back. And it was kind of the same thing with this race, like during the middle of the race, and then they were able to make a bit of a comeback, get a top 5 finish. So I guess that's an okay day for Kevin Harvick, but they got to get things, figured back out, especially having that heartbreaking end to the 2020 season. So we'll see if they can rebound, for 2021. Hopefully get another win in the mile and a half. But yeah, Kevin Harvick, nothing significant about him. He didn't have the best race, but I bet they'll just take this and learn from it and see what they can do better next time. But yeah, overall pretty decent race for Kevin Harvick in the 4 team. And I'm trying to think, like, where did he finish last year? I believe he finished like I think it was like 26 or something. 26. So yeah, strong effort by them to make a comeback and get a top 5 finish. So pretty decent day, or okay day, for Harvick and the 4 team. Finishing the 6th was Michael McDowell. Michael McDowell is really impressing me now. Because when we were going to Homestead, I was starting to think, alright, here we go. And I bet a lot of fans were going like this too. Here we go. We're going to a mile and a half in an intermediate track, and now we're going to see the true meaning behind Front Row Motorsports and Michael McDowell. And they generally delivered. They did better. They just knocked those haters out of their face. Like, I'm not a hater, but I just thought that they weren't going to run well because, intermediates and this team is not really that good. But, it's kind of speaking for itself because Ricky Stenhouse Jr. had a good run. The same thing with Chris Buescher, had a great run, probably a career run, even though he won at Pocono, but that was kind of luck because of the fog and stuff. But, yeah, I'm really impressed with Michael McDowell. They're starting to show these fans, these new NASCAR fans, that he's the real deal after winning the Daytona 500. Because I knew he was good at road courses. I knew that he would get a top 10, top 15 finish. But then at Homestead, I'm generally impressed. Now, can you do it 2 times in a row? We'll see. And the Phoenix is kind of a difficult track, so we'll see what they can do. But overall, generally impressed by Michael McDowell. I like to say the same thing about Anthony Alfredo, but I don't know where he finished. I don't think he got a good finish. But overall, pretty decent race for Michael McDowell and the 38 team, and we'll see what they can do next week and see if they can get 4 top 10s in a row. Can't wait to see. Never thought I'd have this car up here. Oh, we're rolling shoot. Okay. Finishing in 7th was Ryan Newman. Ryan Newman, he had like a top 15 car. He didn't have a top 5 car. He had maybe top 7 or actually finishing like 7th to 15th. That's what I kind of thought of Ryan Newman. Like, him and Chris Buescher had a really great run. I mean, we all know Buescher had a great run, but I'd say Ryan Newman had a good run. I mean, they made changes in Roush Fenway Racing, so Roush Fenway Race started to look like 2019. Heck, maybe even earlier than that. They're doing very well. So Ryan Newman, he ran pretty decent, got a top 10 out of it. So I bet that's a job well done. So I can't wait to see what they can do at Las Vegas. See if they can do this thing back to back at mile and a half racetracks. And Chris Buescher, I bet he could do it, because really Chris Buescher, another factor of him doing good at Homestead is that he won the championship in 2015 in the Xfinity Series at Homestead. So you got to think about that too. But still, overall, pretty decent day for Ryan Newman in the 6th team. And actually, I just can't wait for Las Vegas. I want to see if these drivers can do the exact same thing back to back on the same kind of track, which is an intermediate mile and a half. So I want to see what McDowell, Buescher, and Newman can do. Finishing in 8th was Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch was consistent all day. He had a top 10 car, hands down. But then at the end, he had a vibration and stuff, and they had to come down to pit road, which was a smart idea. They came down with 40 laps to go, and at one point he passed William Byron, unlapping himself because of the fresh tires, because the other tires were really old, and then he marches his way all the way back up to 8th. Kurt Busch, I am severely impressed. This is 2 weeks in a row he has a great comeback. We saw him get into the grass at the Daytona road course last week, and he comes back, rallies back to finish 4th or something, and then with 40 laps to go on a mile-and-a-half racetrack, which is not as long as a road course, we all know that. and then he unlaps himself and gets him back into the top 10, getting an 8th place finish. That is a successful day. Kurt Busch has just been like the comeback man so far. That's 2 in a row. Can he get 3 in a row? What's gonna happen at Las Vegas? Because he won there last year, so that's actually like a positive vibe for Kurt Busch. You have 2 good comebacks in a row that ended up in top 10 finishes the last 2 races, and you're going to your home state to race at your home track to probably get another win 2 times in a row. Man, if you were Kurt Busch, you'd be so happy right now. But overall, pretty decent day for Kurt Busch and the one team. I feel like they could have done better, but hey, pitting with 40 laps to go, unlapping yourself, getting back to 8th, that is perfect. That is too good. You don't want anything to ruin it. Too good. Just too good. Finishing in 9th was Jimmy Johnson. Oh my goodness, did I just say Jimmy Johnson? Cut it. Cut the camera. Man, Jimmy, I want you back. I want you back. I want you back in the Cup Series. Oh, sorry, we're rolling up. Finishing in 9th was Alex Bowman. Sorry, I just still have those Jimmy Johnson vibes with this beautiful Ally car. But, yeah, finishing in 9th was Alex Bowman. Alex Bowman, I don't know. I'd say, like, he did say that he was a bit bummed for getting 9th, but they still got a top 10. 2 top 10s in a row after having that good comeback after starting... I don't know, they started like towards the back after the results from Daytona, and then they felt like they had unapproved adjustments, and so they started at the back and they come back to finish 9th. I'd say they had a pretty decent day. I think they would have done better in stage 2. No, actually, was it stage 1 if they didn't make that contact with William Byron. But yeah, at one point when Larson, Byron, and Elliott were running so close to each other, when they were like racing each other, and then Bowman was like a couple spots back, I was just thinking, dang, this is reminding me of 2020 all over again. You got, like in 2020, you had Elliott, Bowman, Byron racing each other. Johnson was all the way back. Oh, I hated that. But hey, Bowman still got a top 10 finish, so I'm okay with that. So hats off to them. They had a decent race, and really, I don't know what race they could win, because Homestead, they could have won this race. So I don't know. We'll see what they can do next week at Las Vegas, because Jimmy did good there. He finished like 5th, so we'll see if Bowman could do better or worse. Hopefully better, but we'll see. But yeah, overall, pretty decent day for Bowman in the 4018. And rounding up the top 10 is Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch sort of had a comeback too, because him and Kevin Harvick like non-factors early in this race. They were like non-factors. We were just like towards the middle of stage 2. We were just thinking, oh my goodness, what is going on? This is 2020 all over again. You have these drivers who are really good running towards the back. I'm just thinking, what? What is going on? And then towards the end, Kyle Busch does get a top 10 out of it. I bet he's not entirely proud because they know that they can do better. So really, I just don't know what's going on with Kyle Busch. He does not look like a championship contender so far. But hey, it's early in the season. It's only race number 3. We still have like 33 more races to go. So can't say anything yet. But so far, if you're a Kyle Busch fan, or a Kevin Harvick fan, heck, a Blaney fan. Oh my goodness, I feel bad for those Blaney fans. The Daytona 500 incident, not running good at the road course, and then this. Oh man, that stings. Yeah, he got in with Almirola, but we'll get to that in a minute. But still, Kyle Busch, who, I don't know, 2 years in a row. Heck, I don't really care because I'm not a Busch fan. Because you all know I'm not, I just said it. But still, a good comeback indeed for Kyle Busch and the 18 team, and we'll see what they can do next week at their home track. And now let's rate this race. Now, if I had to rate this race, it kind of dragged on in Stage 3. That's kind of rounded up like 2020, NASCAR racing, where you have Stage 1, Stage 2 were pretty decent because you had some good racing, because Homestead is a really good track. Definitely better than Texas and way better than Kentucky. But, yeah, Homestead, I'd say, is probably like a top 3 track. I think Homestead, Las Vegas, and Kansas are like great tracks. Personally, Las Vegas would have to be my favorite mile and a half, even though I'm in Texas, but still, I like Las Vegas, so I can't wait for next week. But, still, yeah, this was a pretty decent race. We still had that drag, that snooze towards the end with William Byron just, dominating it with, 60 laps to go or something. But, yeah, and then, Brad Keselowski pit towards the end. I thought some others would, but no, they didn't, so really, if I had to rate this, I'd give it a I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. I was originally going to give it a 7 because it was an okay race. It was pretty decent. It was a good race. So I'll give it, and I gave it a .5, or 75 out of 100, however you think or say about it. But I give it a .5 because, Hendrick Motorsports won, so I'm okay with that. But yeah, I rate this a 7.5 out of 10. Let me know what you guys will give in the comment section below. Finally, let's talk about this race as a whole. So this race was pretty good. Chris Buescher definitely impressed me. Actually, Roush Fenway Racing impressed me. You had Ryan Newman get a top 10. Chris Buescher, I really wish Buescher would have gotten a top 10, maybe a top 5, because he was really dominating out there. He won Stage 1, which was his second career stage win. And guys, I'm telling you, Chris Buescher is the most underrated driver in NASCAR right now. Because secretly, he'll get in the top 10, and he'll just about make the playoffs. But, last year, like so many other competitive drivers, and you have more competitive drivers now, so that's going to be a bit difficult, so they definitely need a win. And then, I remember at one point, Martrix Jr., Denny Hamlin, battling for a stage win, and then Hamlin went up and pinched Truex to the wall, giving William Byron the Stage 2 victory. I mean, just look at it. So this right here, it was just a one-lap dash. You see Denny Hamlin pinches Truex up on the outside. Byron comes off on the inside to take the lead and win the stage in the one-lap dash of Stage 2. So, wow. Hamlin definitely made Martrix Jr. mad. But it's definitely karma because Truex got a top 10 while Denny Hamlin came up one spot short of a top 10. And then I also liked how, Clint Boyer, he was wearing that jersey that Almirola left in the booth, and then they had, like, a fake Super Bowl trophy, and I don't know what that fake Super Bowl trophy was made out of, but then Boyer just tossed it over and broke it. I was thinking, wow, man, Boyer's still mad about the Chiefs losing to the Bucs, and I was like, not even a month ago, technically, because March is in a couple days, and the Super Bowl was on like the 7th, so not even a month. But I bet that still hurts Clint Boyer, though. Yeah, so that's basically what happened. But yeah, still definitely karma for Denny Hamlin finishing 11th, and he's the number 11. Oh man, you can't make this stuff up. But then before we go, I also want to talk about not only did Chris Buescher have a good run, but Ricky Stenhouse Jr. was also challenging for like a top 5 position at one point. Like, he was running pretty good as well. But then, once again, like I said, Buescher and then Stenhouse, they both like fell off. I don't know what places they finished, but they definitely were probably like the drivers of the day. So yeah, this race, like it says in the title, just surprising race. It was just a surprising race because there was just so many surprises jumping out of everywhere. Like Roush Fenway having a great race, JTG Doherty having a decent race with their driver, William Byron stealing the show from drivers that we thought would win, like a Kyle Larson or Martrix Jr. Heck, Denny Hamlin was my pick, and he disappointed me. Or even a Tyler Reddick, but William Byron pulls it out. So yeah, that's going to end it here, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Tier list videos, I'm not sure if I'll be making another one, because I want to start making paint scheme videos, like ranking paint schemes and stuff. If I can make a tier list about ranking paint schemes, I'll probably do that. If not, then I'll just do it with like my best and worst paint schemes. I'll be doing that and stuff. But if I could do it with the tier list, then I can like rank both at the same time instead of having to make 2 individual videos. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Probably at Las Vegas. I don't know if I have a review. The reviews that I make happen randomly, so yeah, I'll see you guys next time at Las Vegas, and have a great rest of the night. Peace out.